Testing. Okay, is this coming through? Some delay. Okay, it looks like it should be coming. Yes, okay, it's coming. Nice. Oh. Nice hearing myself. Well, alright, let's do this. Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be doing yet another super exciting Narwhals live stream. Ciao, Francesco. So, got some really interesting pull requests to look at, so I'm going to spend some time on those, and let's see how far we can get. So, here's VS Code. Yeah, spend some time. I was spending some time working on the Daft integration. Finally got a fair few tests passing, as well as the type checking passing. Passing type checking is no easy feat these days, but once you get it passing, you're a lot more confident in what you've produced. So we've got that, and we also need to take a look at some really interesting pull requests. So maybe let's start with those. So I've got a couple of really good things to look at. One is the implementation of the temporal truncate method, and the other one is IBIS support. And I kind of want to get the IBIS one in before the before more merge conflicts creep in, else it's going to become unmanageable at some point. Okay. Audio sounds all right to me, not perfect, but I think it's good enough. So so the truncate one is still in draft. So maybe first let's start with this one. So amazingly enough, everything is indeed passing. Well done. Wow, 2,000 lines of code. I'm curious, just for comparison, this Daft one, does that show us how many lines of code this changes? No, it doesn't. Well, I'm curious, yes, so let's fetch. Yeah, I think we're almost certainly gonna have to check this out. So and then let's put here R return 577. Okay, and then we can check out the feature initial IBIS support branch. I'm really curious to see what difference this makes to package size, just curious. So if we go to the main branch, then, okay, we've got this number. So what is this? One, something large, and then here we've got something a little bit larger. So let's do b minus m divided by m. Okay, it's a 4% increase. It's not terrible, to be honest. I think this is probably workable. We don't need to worry about making this into a separate, like, Narwhals-IBIS package, especially if there's consumers like Point Blank that are really interested in using this. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so yeah, just adding IBIS to a bunch of tests. Nice. Okay, adjusting the coverage. We've had to adjust the... I'm so confused by this change. Why are we doing this? Yeah, super confused. Let's see. I think we don't need this change. It was fine as it was. Okay, sure, this is probably for the compatibility thing. Then, on the DT side, okay, they pretty much follow the API I was kind of expecting. Okay, no big surprises there. Maybe just this nanosecond one we should take care of. Yeah, let's take a look at this nanosecond. I'm a little suspicious of the nanosecond one. Let's take a look. Okay, making sure we've got all the latest dependencies installed. Then import polars, import IBIS. Then we're going to make a polars data frame. So I'm gonna have A 2021 T like this, but also let's make sure that we've got some nanoseconds present. With columns pl.col a.string.toDateTime unit equals ns. It's not unit, it's time unit. Okay, here we are. Then let's make this ibis.mem table from this data frame. Okay, and then let's select a dot, what was the syntax? Microsecond. Yeah, sorry, it's not collect. What do we do? Two polars. Okay, so we do lose nanoseconds this way. Do they not have a .nanosecond method? Ah, they don't have .nanosecond. That's annoying. Is there any issue in their repo about this? So we do have it here in the bucket. Oh wait, no, but we should have it here. Attributes. But it looks like it should. Oh, is it nanoseconds? Timestamp column has no attribute nanoseconds. Oh, just interval value. Attributes. This is so confusing. Yeah, this just goes down to microsecond. This, yeah, I think we need to comment on that. So this would lose the nanosecond component. Should we just mark nanosecond as not implemented for now and open an issue with IBIS? And let's just double check that they don't already have an issue. Audio could be a bit better. Let's see if I move the mic closer. Does this improve things at all? Okay, to me it sounds a bit clearer, so I think I'll keep it like this. So, nanosecond expression. So it looks like IBIS has support for milliseconds, microseconds, but not nanoseconds. Could nanoseconds be added to? This would be useful for the Paola's backend. So motivation behind your request, IBIS support in Narwhals. Okay, support in Narwhals, not going to miss a chance to advertise Narwhals. ibis.a.nanosecond. What version am I running? The latest one. 10.5. Polars. Create. Okay, let's do this. So I have in fact left a comment, so I could just link to that. Let's do that. Then the rest looks fine. String format, time with format, weekday, ordinal day, day of year, sure. Yeah, nice one. Okay, list length. 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 Well, this is a bit surprising. So they've got timestamp value, date value, but where's the collection expressions? Yeah, where are the operations on lists? Oh, are they these ones? Or alls, any's? Oh my gosh. Contains filter length some. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. I guess it's not too different from the, like in polars there's int range for the vertical range, and then there's int ranges, which makes one int range for each row. So they've got dot sums. I don't know. I think gotta give it to them. It is. Oh no, wait, they do have dot r. I was about to say maybe they got away with doing this without needing a custom namespace, but it looks like you still need to do dot arr. Okay, never mind. So you need that for dot. Oh wait, no, sorry, you don't need it. ARR was just the name of the column. Oh yeah, ARR is just the name of the column. Okay, that is kind of nice then. They don't need an extra namespace accessor for this. It just works by itself. That's quite nice. Okay, anyway, that's quite a long bracket we've opened. I think this is nice and straightforward. Well done. Cool. Then, okay, starts with, ends with, can. All right, so we need to distinguish contains and repattern, okay? Slice, split, lowercase, strip chars, replace all. Replace seems to be problematic for quite a lot of backends, which makes me wonder whether we should really have it. So should this be replace equals not implemented? Oh, cool. So the format needs to be specified explicitly. And if it's a naive format, then they explicitly remove the time zone from the output. Okay. Nice. Okay. This should probably be a common utility function, but whatever. Fine for now. Okay, struct, that's pretty nice. Group by. Why do we have this alias native expression? Oh, wait, do I see? Oh, right. That's actually quite interesting. So at the moment we're using .alias, but we're doing alias on the native expression, even though it's not called alias everywhere. Okay, that's nice. Okay, this does make sense to me, actually. But we probably can type it, can't we? Native expratico. Well, let's see. Can native expratico be used as a type here? I'm actually super impressed with how far this contributor has got. Like, this is mad. Just 2,000 lines of code touched in their first pull request to the project with virtually no guidance. Like, this is very impressive. Yeah, this looks legit. Cool, yeah, they've made a new implementation. We might want to first merge Francesco's pull request, which deals with that. Or merge one after the other. No big deal. Okay, I'll take a... Gosh, yeah, this is where things start getting large, so let's defer this one to later. Selectors should be really simple. Nice. Yeah, the simplifications around selectors are really magic. Nice. Right. Cool, yeah, made a new window function. Maybe this could be shared, but I think it's fine. Like this for now. Okay, sure, we can take a look at the types, but this looks like it's probably fairly straightforward. Oh, cool, yeah. Something nice to match Ibis against. Some... Yeah. Okay, yeah. A lot of these are going to be fairly straightforwards now, just like marking some X fails. I'm curious to see what and how much we need to X fail. Nice. Yeah, this is good. Okay, gonna take a break, but this really looks like it's on the right track. Shouldn't be too long until we can ship this. Right, let's get back to this. I'm gonna mark as viewed as much as I can. I'm gonna leave an initial review and then we'll get back to it and finish it after we've taken a look at the other open pull requests. What's this? Equal data. If it's okay, sure. To native to PyArrow looks fine. Looks fine. Selectors. Oh right, replace time cell. And this one. Oh, and not expected. We should do something about this separately. But yeah, we can get to that later. Sure. Okay, actually, I'll open that now. Let's open this. There is one nice benefit of adding backends, which is that it kind of forces you to revisit what you've got and see if you can generalize things. That is kind of nice. Okay, new issue. Okay, so let's say that better error messages are a feature. But yeah, feature. Unify error message if selector ends up with 0 columns. So I've noticed that in the selectors test file, we do, oh, whoops, didn't mean to submit, hadn't finished typing yet. This is because once the expression has been evaluated, we end up with 0 columns to select, and both DuckDB and PySpark raise if you just do an empty select. Yeah, we should probably unify the error messages here and catch them in the test rather than having a X fail. So for lazy frame, raise a consistent error message if we select 0 columns. For dataframe, preserve current behavior. I don't know why anyone wants to select 0 columns, but we do support and test that, so we should probably keep that as it is. Okay, so yeah, sure. So we've split that out. Then let's see if there's any more comments we can leave. Want maximum 2 Pomodoro sessions on this, and we've already exhausted one not too far off a second one with row index. Yeah, this needs deprecating really, so let's keep that as is with columns. What's the issue here? Oh, categorical, sure. So yeah, they raised their own error. That's looks like this got repeated. We don't need to repeat this twice. Okay, looks like this request apply marker got duplicated. Ibis doesn't raise if we do a join with duplicate column names. Okay, I'm gonna have to, but the rest of the join test actually passes. Wow. Hi there. I'm checking the sound and if the code is visible. So we're reviewing a pull request, and I'd like to think the sound is all right, but please, I really value your feedback. Let me know if it's not. So, full join duplicate. Okay, as of nearest. Gonna have to come back to this one. Explode. Okay, multiple columns. Sure, we probably want to disallow exploding multiple columns at the Narwhals level. Then concat diagonal. I think I should be able to support concat diagonal. But yeah, okay to leave this as a follow-up. Unique, sure. Ibis. Unary onto our elements. What's the issue here? Could be skew. Yeah, I wonder what the issue is here. Gonna have to check this one. Everything is great. Hey, thanks. Unary one element. It's probably skew. Yeah, we'll come back to this one. Uppercase and lower. Well, this, I actually learned about this one at PyCon Germany, that this lowercase one does actually have an uppercase. Like this one is the correct translation, not SS. So if anything, we should be exfailing the classic pandas, which does that, rather than asserting that the pandas one is correct and the other ones are wrong. Yeah, we can invert that, but yeah, we can do that separately. Then, okay, sure, Ibis doesn't automatically infer the format, so we can exfile that. What's the issue? Oh, yeah, we're automatically inferring. Strip chars. What's the issue with strip chars? Should be an extra string. Okay, so they have strip. I wonder. We can do this as a follow-up, but I'd imagine that there's probably some way to do this. But yeah, this pull request is already quite large and has been going on for some time, so okay to leave this out for now. Okay, replace, yeah, sure. Replace strict, but I thought we did have replace strict. Huge PR, yes, 2000 lines of code. It increases the size by 4%. This is about as big as it gets, but I don't know of a simpler way to do this. Reduction test. I'm surprised that this one fails. Oh, by Spark construct DB return all nulls. Yeah, we should look into this. Oh yeah, but it's related to that issue that we already have about what do empty aggregations return. Yeah, so I think that's fine. Then quantile. Okay, yeah, because it just does the approximate quantile. Okay, that's fine. Is sorry, wait, what was that with median? Okay, we're doing median on a string. And why does this fail? Okay, I'm curious now. Need to find out. How do we test Stibus? Am I not on their branch? Oh no. Here we go. Okay. So, median test. Then, what if we don't fail? So it did not raise, but does it really just do this? So df.collect. So expra, it takes column S and finds the median. Yeah. So df.select expra.collect. What? What? So f is the median of f, a, and x. What? Are they doing like the median of the byte values? Wow. Okay, I'm curious, what does DuckDB do? Because that one's also X failed. Call s.median. Yes, wow. This is wild. Wow. Well, okay. If that's what we do, it's what we do. But should we even be testing this at some point? Oh, it's fine. is none test. It probably just doesn't raise invalid operation, right? Let's see. Okay, float. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, it doesn't raise, it just... Yeah, okay, it just runs on... It'll happily run on non-float. Okay, sure. No big deal, I guess. Is finite. Oh, right, it's just these classical pandas ones that don't distinguish between none and none that are special snowflakes. So this is actually the correct behavior. Or is it? Yeah, this is where we start getting into ugly things. So we've got nan, inf, to, and none. So, and we're just asking, is it finite? So for Perlers, PyArrow, DuckDB, PySpark, IBIS, we're saying that none is not finite, inf is not finite, but 2 is finite, and we preserve the none. This looks like the most correct behavior. For pandas, both nan and none will just return false. This is the kind of place where I just don't know what it's meant to do or what we're trying to do. As in, should it? It's probably fine, but it is what it is. And then for pandas nullable, they preserve the nuns. Oh, but because of the way that we constructed it, this one became nan instead of being none. We should probably use 0 divided by 0 in this test in order to get the in order to get a more consistent output. Yeah, I'm slightly curious about that now. So let's see. So here I'm going to make 0. Let's also use inf. Inf divided by inf, I presume, stays inf. 2 over 2, none over none. Okay. So then what we're going to do is divide a by itself, and then ask, is it finite? So that like this, we force the production of a nan value. So tests, extra, and series is finite test. Hoping we're going to get some failures. Could not convert string inf to decimal. Right. Yeah, it's inferring it to be decimal, unfortunately. Well, maybe we can just put this one first then. So Yeah, we just need to swap the first two elements. Then let's take a look. We get some failures. Varchar. Which Varchar? Well, let's check if I put the output that I'd like to get, do you actually get that in most cases? Which we don't even. So float, surely float over float is gonna be, sorry, inf over inf is gonna just be inf. So data frame, data. Then let's take column A. Oh no, inf over inf gives nan. Whoa. Okay, never mind. Maybe this is not so easy to simplify. Let's just leave it as it is. But anyway, we're putting here ibis in the most correct behavior bucket, so that's okay. Then fill null. Why wouldn't ibis be able to do this one? Yeah, this is fairly straightforward. It's just strategy equals forwards over partition by, and backwards over partition by. I'd expect it to be able to do this. Let's take a look. So we need to look at fill null. Strategy is, oh, okay, I think it's just not been done yet. So do we have that here? Fill null. No, it just takes a value. Yeah, we probably need to do this a bit differently. But do we respect limit in PySpark? Curious now. Can't remember. Oh yeah, start. Yeah, this is beautiful. Yep. Yeah, Francesco's magic going on here. So it should be possible to support these. We do something because we do it for Spark like and DuckDB using last value. Do they have last value? Or something like last. Yeah, they've got last. Yeah, they've got the last value thing. Yeah, this is supported, so it should be fine. Okay. So it looks like IBIS expressions have dot last, so it should be possible to use that. Okay, to leave this as a follow-up. Oh, nice. They've got the rolling functions implemented as well, and the cumulative ones. No way. Whoa. Wow, they've done so much. Wow, so cool. Okay, first things first, gonna tell them how amazing this is. Well, so impressive how far you got with this, how many merge conflicts you navigated through. Okay, raised hands emojis, heart eyes emojis. Okay, left some. So I haven't reviewed everything yet, just left some minor comments, but I think we should be able to ship this soon. Let's not quantify, let's not make too many promises, because everything in open source takes longer than you expect. Right, time for a Pomodoro break. Thanks everyone. Okay then. Time. Time to get back. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so this one here I have approved. Or did I? Okay, Dan approved it. I said there was no strong preference. I think it can be merged. Okay, looks like there's some issue with the... What's going on here? Some issue with the TPCH test. If these are blocking CI, then we should probably see if we can address them. Okay, let's take a look. Otherwise this blocks everyone. So let's make sure we're all up to date. D group local dev. What? This is a bit confusing. Why did we get... So I want to upgrade local dev. Why did it... this is a bit confusing. So yeah, Polos is pinned down to 1.5, 1.25. Why? There's no... Ooh, in I for typing, it's pinned. We should probably... We might want to consider removing that, but I think it's okay. So then in TPCH, what's the name of it? So .yaml, there's one of these that runs these TPCH benchmarks, not because we're interested in benchmarking tools against each other, although that is kind of fun, but these queries test out quite a lot of behaviors, so they just give us a way to check that we're getting consistent outputs across tools. Let's take a look. Okay, nice. So I can reproduce the error. Let's see if we can quickly fix it. So tpch / generate data. Decimal 64. Looks like all of a sudden it went from... Interesting. Okay, so it went from decimal 128 to decimal 64, really? Nice. Okay, now it works. While we're here, let's just add a few little comments. So is finite. So Here the nan and none get mangled upon data frame construction. Then there's the no, not what was it? There's there was this other test to do with like to uppercase, where we had like the German, the soft B that becomes like this. I thought it became SS, but maybe not. So string, and then we've got to uppercase and to lowercase. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, so I kind of think that this test should be the other way around. So if anything, we should say if pandas in so if pandas is in string constructor, is this just eager? Yeah, so if pandas is in there, and okay, let's just do pandas constructor. Wait, what? Oh, right, this is the date. Yeah, so here, the expected output. We need to just select that one character. Then expected A0 equals expected A0 dot replace this with SS. I've got a feeling cuDF. Oh yeah, no, cuDF is correct as well. Everyone apart from the classic pandas one is incorrect here. So we can do it. Let's see if now this passes. Tests extra and in the wrong folder. Okay, PyTest. Tests extra and series string to uppercase. Oh, pandas PyArrow. Well, what? Really? No way. Pandas constructor, pandas PyArrow. Wait, Polus also. Oh, Polus also doesn't do this. Am I just... Well, what's the name for like programming like a monkey, just trying things until they pass? Oh wait, is this... Oh wow, okay, it might... Yeah, we probably don't want to do this. So expected A equals... Let's just make it explicitly, let's not do anything fancy. Expected equals... that. Without the comma, nice. Another case of type annotations helping us. Okay, so now let's see who fails. So we got a failure for quite a few, but maybe we can remove those that I'd unnecessarily added. So now just 2 failures. What's going on? So, Polar's eager also should be here. And pandas. Oh, foo. What? Ah. Okay. Okay. And this... I don't even know what to call this character. This one in expected A. Okay. We got it now. We finally... Winning. No, not quite. So special case SS is different. 0. Okay. Spending way too long on this one little test case. Nice, finally passing. Cool. And then we can do the same for the other one. Okay, we also need to x-fail for some particular condition. Let's just skip. So if desk this, then pytest.skip. And then the others should be fine. We can now just use constructor. Part of me wants to report this to Bolas. Yeah, so here we need to use this one in the real expected, and then we just overwrite it for the ones that are... Whoa! Technically incorrect. This... They look so similar, but they are not the same. Okay, nice, we got it finally. Ship this, okay. so check out. Let's also add a comment to the selectors test. Yeah, let's add a comment to the issue we created earlier. This one here. Fix TPCH CI. So yeah, fix TPCH test data generation in CI. Okay, while this is running, oh nice, yeah, so we've got that CI failure here in the truncate PR, but the PR I've opened would address that. Okay, nice. Yeah. Done helpful reviews. Okay, just adding it to the API reference. We've got a unit to string. Okay, so this is like a function that doesn't take any arguments. Let's take a look at what this does. In the meantime, I think my pie is finished. Yeah. Okay, so this just, yeah, I'm slightly confused here because it returns a dictionary. Should this just be a constant? Yeah, I kind of feel like that, because otherwise every time we call it, each time we call it, we recreate the dictionary. Yeah, could this dictionary just be a constant in DuckDB utils and arrow utils? As always, disregard my advice to not name things utils. Nice, my pie has passed. Let's push to origin and open a pull request, which should fix CI for this one and for others. Yeah, I'm also curious about, can we see a reference? So German B letter, what's it called? S that. How do you pronounce this? Okay, here they call it S set. Okay. Capital. No, 2017. Okay. This is, I find this kind of amusing. Okay, so in 2017, they adopted this one here as the capital version of this S set. And since 2024, this one here has been preferred over SS. So it kind of makes, well, maybe it's not too surprising that the classic pandas uses SS, because it was written a long time before 2017. I'm a little surprised that Polus doesn't use this though. And I'm also slightly surprised if nobody's complained. I feel like Polus user base has gone beyond the critical mass, so there should be enough people to complain about anything. No, no way. Nobody has complained. SZ. Well, I'll be the one to complain. This does not affect me in the slightest. But I did learn that this capital letter does exist on a bus trip in Germany, so I kind of feel like putting that knowledge to use. Anyway, back to here. So, yeah, we've commented on that unit to string. Then only unit 1 is supported for PyArrow, but that's just for Q. So we might want to specify. Okay, so yeah, if we want to leave nom1 units with Q for a follow-up, can we add a for Q to the error message? Because it looks like it's supported for non-Q units. But yeah, fine to leave this as a follow-up. Then, okay, at the compliant level, you just pass things through. Extra DT. So, okay, so these super daily ones are not yet supported. Fair enough. Then M becomes min, sure. Okay, easy. Then duckdb. Nanosecond is a bit problematic in duckdb in general, so that's fine. Yeah, so same, yeah. Same comment as for PyArrow. Let's specify the unit in the error message, because it looks like number different from 1 with other units is in fact supported. Okay, so DuckDB has this time bucket function. Nice. Sure. Oh, for PySpark, we only support 1 for all of them. Oh, because they just have data trunk. They don't have this fancy. What was it? Time bucket. Okay. Fair enough. Looks like there's a missing F. So missing F. Like this looks like it wants to be an F string, but the thing is getting substituted here. The error message would just show number. I think I once got an email from a company that said something like hello name, like that. Anyway, cool stuff. Every interval start and period length. Yeah, separately to this PR, I don't really like the. Yeah, I feel like the Polars API is kind of suboptimal here because every just accepts a string, and because it's a combination of a number and a string, then there's no way to do proper type checking on it. Kind of annoying, and it's so easy to get the wrong one. So yeah, it's out of scope for this particular PR, but I kind of feel like we should also have like a number and unit argument, and then number would just be typed as int, and then maybe unit would be typed as literal with only the units that we accept. So then you don't need to worry about whether it's m or min. Like autocomplete will just show you what the correct one is, and you pick that one. Like, no big deal. Anyway, we've got a nice example truncating to the start of the hour. Nice. We're preserving the metadata, so okay, separate to this PR, I think we can probably refactor these. But yeah, let's finish the review. We can do that. Yeah, nice. This looks good. Okay, nice. I mean, yeah, we could just have this as part of the same string, but that's really minor. Yes! Love this walrus operator. Okay. Wait a sec. So yeah, this just returns them as a string. But then how does it get used? Oh, yeah, because then we call int here. So I think this one might as well just return an int. Could we return the number as an int here? So the type is tuple int string. And then we don't need to call int on the result each time. Okay, nice. Then we've got a test, which can probably be shortened. No, maybe it can't actually. Yeah, this is fine. So we're explaining this for okay, I'm a little confused here because well, let's take a look. Okay, so if the output differs between SQL frame and PySpark, then I'm not sure why we're exfailing for PySpark. Maybe I need to try running it to see. Then, okay, nanosecond. These ones don't support the super daily ones, sure. Okay, nice. Then custom. Oh, right, these are with non-unitary ones. And here we've got a bunch of X fails. Okay, this is a little surprising to me. I think I need to check out the pull request and try running things. Ah, nice. Okay, so I was wondering about this. So here we're exfailing it for NS with polars, presumably because the constructor defaults to microsecond, but as long as we've got a different test which covers that, that's okay. And then series only over constructor eager, don't need any X fails here, wonderful. And then invalid. Ah, okay, so we Yeah, makes sense. I think Polus panics here, and it shouldn't panic. So, yeah, we can skip that. And then for the others, we just check that there's some value error. Could think about raising a custom Narwhals error, but I think this is okay. Cool, thanks. So I'll pull this to investigate. So yeah, so left some minor comments. Not sure I understand some of the X fails. Gonna pull it to see if I can make sense of any. Oh, but yeah, a really good start to this one. Really happy if we can support this functionality. And I'm happy anytime I see a walrus operator. What's happened to this PR? Why is everything failing? Pandas, oh, Pandas nullable doesn't run by default. Yeah, okay. Sure. Uppercase and lowercase. That kind of makes sense. Okay, yeah, so the pandas nullable and the classic pandas return the SS, whereas the modern ones use the capital S set. So expect this passes. And let's run it for all CPU constructors. Skipped. What? So confused. So pandas nullable fixup. I think we don't need to run mypy for this. I'm gonna do skip mypy. Little trick if your pre-commit is taking too long, just set the skip equals mypy environment variable. Let's push and let's take a break. So Right then, let's get back to this final little stretch. We don't have a ton of time, so let's just see if we can get something closed out. Yay, this passes. So this does pass, and it unblocks other pull requests from... yeah, it unblocks other pull requests from having failing CI, which I think... And I think unblocking others should always be the priority. So let's ship this. And abusing admin privileges of merging without approval. But for something so minor that's just internal, I think it's okay. And if it's not, then you can complain to my Narwhals manager. Right, I'm curious to take a look at Bolas now. Maybe this also gives some a little glance into debugging things in Bolas, but I think it can be interesting. So what does Bolas do for this to uppercase? So in general, everything really happens in Rust. So if we want to look at where a string function is, we should look for it using fn rather than def. So def is the Python one, fn is how it is in Rust. So I'm hoping that here, if I just do go to definition, then it might take us to where this uppercase function is implemented, or at least take us a little bit closer. You can see the Rust analyzer spinning. So yeah, the startup time is a little slow, but once it's warmed up, then it's usually a super pleasant experience. Okay, nice. Here we are. It takes us to string function uppercase. And I'll do another go to definition, but it doesn't take us anywhere. So we need another approach. Let's see. Uppercase. Let's match case sensitively. Map unary. Yeah, that's where we were before. Oh, here it is. Oh, okay, so this is just... It preserves the same type. It's element-wise. Map uppercase. This is the one I'm looking for. This is the function. So to uppercase. So self as string, and then case to uppercase. To ASCII uppercase. So this is really just using the... this is really just using the Rust standard library. Okay, convert while ASCII. So here we use a different one, which I presume is... I presume is specialized, or maybe is a bit slower, so that's why it doesn't happen straight away. Okay, so this... Oh, right, so it happens here. 1-to-1 uppercase mappings given by the Unicode character database. independent of context and language in the Unicode standard. Ah, well, they've got this ICE, sorry, what's it called again? SZAT as an example as well. SZAT. Pronounced like an S. Sure, but how do I call the letter? SZAT. So yeah, this just gives it SS. So this is just the Rust standard library converting it there. It's not something that, I guess it could be in Polars. I guess Polars could override it, but what's the... Ooh, is this the issue? Oh, yes. Nice. There is an issue about it in Rust. Both are valid. The former one is used more often. I've never seen a capital S said in use, and I'm from Germany too. Mapping rules specified by Unicode. Unicode doesn't get... Okay, so this is just a standard thing. It's a little surprising to me then that PyArrow doesn't follow this. But whatever. At this point, we've gone too far into this rabbit hole, and I think it's time to dig ourselves out. So yeah, that was a fun one. Hope we can get this... Sorry, merge conflicts, my fault here. But yeah, gonna get there. Super exciting. Well, thanks everyone. That's enough for today. All the best. Hasta luego. Ciao.